Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is D-Day. That's what it is. It's political D-Day. Mr. Trump and Mr. Biden are going to meet on television for posterity. And I don't know what they're going to do exactly. It's probably going to be like some type of topological formula. It's like when you look at one side of the conversation, it's going to be one way. And then you're going to look on the other side of the conversation, it's going to be just three people taking a whole different direction to our physical reality. So it's to me, it'll be a brain twister. It'll hurt watching. So I'm not watching it, but it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. So anyhow, let's get over to the chat line. Let's go to the chat line. Right there. Ah, there it is. Hey, Robin. And hey, Janos. Tube streaming. Could you set up tube streaming? Interesting. Okay, let's look at Amazon, and we'll go from let's see. Yeah, honest, it sounds like they've made a decision too, huh? Tube streaming, okay. All right, let's take a look at it. Let's go over to, where am I sharing in at this point? Oh yes, we got to flip over. You want to see, oh yeah, Amazon was up, what was it, broke the $2 trillion mark yesterday? Go Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. We have it here. There it is there on the beta. Look at that, nice big spike. Yeah. It's been in a daily buy for what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days now. And been in a weekly buy for 3 weeks, as you can see right there. And then let me open it up on the other platform. Do 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 do. Here we come. Here we come. Here it comes. Take a look at it. Good old Amazon. Amazon. The spreadsheet. Let's see. Yeah, right there. It's just it's up again today, but it's not making any sense because the high, low, and open and all that is screwed up. So let me just show it to you on the other one too. There it is, right there. There it is, right there. Now, that's interesting. So they put it into the sell there. It's in a buy for a couple. You couldn't take the sell, so that's good. So this one, you didn't make it, and that's why we're working on the beta very aggressively. Because we find the beta a little bit cleaner at times, which is kind of neat. And so, in other words, it would have been nice if we'd have had a green dot right there. That would have been helpful. But we did not get a green dot there. Whereas on the beta, did the same thing, green and red. But the thing is that the histogram itself did not make it through. Both, it was a plus and minus together, so that was like a green dot. Either way, you would have never been short for the move, and you just would have missed the move. Depending on how you trade the move. In other words, if you were in a binary, you wouldn't have paid attention to it, and you would have been long for the move. If you were trading the hard delta, or what I call the underlying product itself, that's what the hard delta is, the underlying product itself. Amazon, you may have taken your profits from the last, where is it from? Let's see what is that? That is a close of 184, and it went up to 191. So you would have missed that trade if you were just trading the underlying product. If you were trading the bull spread or / binary, you would have been long for that, and you would have caught that move. So that's the difference between trading the hard delta or the underlying product versus where did I put my phone to? Let me just double check something. Sometimes I am amazed. Where did I put that? Is it underneath there? Just in case someone's trying to get a hold of me or text me. I don't know where I put it. But I'll worry about that later. So, yes, that's the Amazon. Now, I noticed that they did close the SPYs in daily buys, whereas last night they were with a red and a green. These black pools are a real pain in the neck. You know, I guess the best way to describe it is, this constant illegal trading supported by the Securities Exchange Commission, which I always complain about, and the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. Both of them allow these black pools. I don't even hear the phone ringing. Interesting. Don't even hear it ringing. So, all right. Well, we'll be phoneless all the way up until the end of the webinar. All right. So these black pools are just one large pain in the neck, because let me just go over to SPY and show you. Where's SPY at? That's not it. We want this one right here. Let's go to SPY. Okay. SPY. Right there. There's SPY. Now last night, let me just show you what last night looked like. It had a red and a green there. And then they added some trades, and open interest increased. They're not trading public stocks and so forth. Yeah, I heard it just ring. I didn't hear it even ringing. Trying to figure out what I did with it. Let me think. Where was I and what was I doing? I'm not going to worry about it. Someone can get me. They can get me after the webinar. So that's one of the problems with black pools, is that you're not seeing all the trades during the day, and then they get put in after the day, and it's very irritating. Very, very irritating. And that's what the problem is with that. Let's just take a look at it on the beta. SPY on the beta. There we are. Yeah, so beta did the same thing yesterday. It was underneath and tried to lift up, but it could not lift up. And now, obviously, that's the 26th. Yeah, so it's really irritating. Let me just show you what we're looking at on the beta. We should be looking at a new platform of beta today. Right there. You can see that it didn't want to. It got through just like it did here. Through, but same situation. No green dot. In this case, on this platform, we were red and green, and let's just show it to you, just to show you. Remember, we try to be pretty fair about the whole thing around here. Let's see, SPY. Oh, you know what? It's already copied over. Darn. I can probably go into my emails and open it up. Let me see. I bet I can do that. Let me do that. I want to show you. So, in other words, I go cents, and I go down to right there, I guess. No, that's not it. Cents. Maybe right there. There you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Take a look at this. This is what we sent out last night. See, it's green and red. We have a green line over in here. But then this is what it looks like today. So it's right there. In other words, the red dot's gone. They've added more inventory, and they've changed the closing price. Weasels. They're weasels. Total weasels. All right. So from there, what was the next one Giannis was looking at? NVDA. Let's look at that puppy. NVDA. I see all kinds of stories. Now someone's trying to say, oh, this thing's going to double. Oh my God. I guess it's a 10% move if it doubles. You can see here over on the beta to start off with, it's weekly buy forever and ever, or 10 full weeks. Went into a daily buy on the 25th. And, it was holding strength in there, lifting up. And you can see on the 26th it was in a buy. Let's do this like that so you can see that. So there's the 26th. It closed in a buy. And then we go to the other platform. And let's find it. Let's see. Let me think where it's at. I know where it's at. All right, we're going to close that. ARM. Oh, that's right. We'll go like that. Close. Yeah, that'd be 10%. Yeah, I know. Anything's possible in these times. They're so narrow in what's being traded. Aggressively. So let's see, where am I going? Oh yeah, let me find it first for you. Yeah, that's all it is really. Is they think it's going to double. So it's like it's going to go to $280 or something like that. So it's a 10% move, which is not outrageous, I guess you could say, compared to the way it was flying around. And there it is right there. Here it comes. And let's go over to it. Right there. Now they have it closed in a buy yesterday. Now I don't think we had that on the spreadsheet as a buy. Matter of fact, I'm almost dead sure it wasn't a buy, but either way, now what is that? That is the 27th. That's today. It's moving down a little bit, but it's saying now after all the Blackpool volume and so forth comes in after the markets are closed. We are flirting with a weekly buy again on here, which is nice because on the beta it's been in a weekly buy for 10 weeks. Remember, I have to delete this and then reopen it again. I might do that since everybody's looking at it anymore. So I'll probably do that after the webinar. I'll delete it, remove the symbol, and then re-add it again, and it'll give us a cleaner picture. But that's the MVDA. It's climbed into the daily buy again. And it's in the weekly buy anyway, so you don't want to basically short this thing. And they're so desperate. Money is hot money. There was a time when I was young, hot money was a minor part of the market. Today, the market is run by hot money. I've explained all these expressions before. So I'm trying to think if I even discussed hot money. I know I have once in a while. Hot money is money that's looking for short-term momentum profits. That's pretty much what it comes down to. In other words, it's a big pile of cash that wants to be flipped dozens and dozens of times to come out with a plus for the day. And they're willing to take a risk to do it. And so it's not like your classic buy and hold and sit there for 6 months to a year and a half or 3 years. It's put it in the market this morning, flip it like as if there's no tomorrow, and we used to call that also the airplane spread. Remember that, Robin? The airplane spread. I hadn't thought about that one in a long time. The airplane spread. Oh my God. They used to say put a pile a big position on in the morning and get on an airplane and go, and then look. When you land, you take a look and see where it ended, and if it ended great, you can fly home, and if it didn't, keep on going. The airplane spread. All right, now let's go over to ARM. Let's find ARM. ARM. How big is that? What's that? The hot money? It seems to be the majority of it anymore. When you look at the volume of, like, when you look at the, here's the reason why I can say this out loud. All right, so they're looking at the S&P 500, all 500 stocks, and something like 17% of the return comes from 7 stocks, and the other 493 stocks is 19% of the return. So it's almost 50-50. That's the scary part. So in other words, 17% is coming from a limited group, and of the 7 hot stocks, and the rest is coming from all 493 stocks in the S&P 500. That's how. So yeah, hot money is almost 50% of the market. It's nuts, totally nuts. Used to be 3%, 5%. Once in a while you'd see some hot money come into the market, and it would be doing all kinds of wild things. Nowadays, the whole market is hot money. That's because there's so much cash out there, and at the same time, here's ARM. There's ARM right there. ARM's 3 days in a buy. I guess this is the 3rd day right there. It is 27th, and still 2 for the 6th week in a buy. Let's see. I think we have it on the beta. Let's find it on the beta. Beta. Could have sworn I had it on the beta too. No, I don't have it on the beta. Just on here. So there's the ARM. Let's go back to. Let's go back to. Let's see. Let's go back to. Where am I at? Oh, the chat line. That's it. There's the chat line. So that's why I say, how big is the hot money? It's a majority. It was never that big. They're. It just. I guess it's what it really comes down to is like a combination of things. I mean, Wall Street at one time was very responsible in its own way, but it was responsible. They did not want to see the Federal Reserve abuse its strong position as the world reserve currency. They didn't want the Fed to be out there literally playing with the market in everybody's face. They didn't want that. They do that today. That's the irritating part. And at the same time, Wall Street now is run by salesmen and is not run by traders. That's why the hedge fund industry is way, way separate and moved further away from everything. We got 2024 coming. And yeah, so I mean, it's just an ugly situation. It's an irresponsible situation. The ruling junta that runs the country right now believes that you can borrow forever. The old Wall Street never believed that. They thought that you should pay your debts down, and that you shouldn't abuse the power that you have, because when you abuse the power you have, that's pretty much the answer to it all. That is the answer. So, it is what it is, and there's not much you can be said about it from there. What else can we say about any of that? I guess that's about the end of the story there. Hot money's running the markets, and there is no stopping the crazy that's been going on. Oh, here we go. Guys from rural Eastern Europe know who Charles Schwab is. Yeah, I have no doubt. I mean, Charles Schwab now owns Toronto Dominion. What do you call it? The brokerage house part. Thinkorswim. it's they're getting out at the top. I guess they think. I trust Toronto Dominion's decision making process. They're way better than like Bank of Canada or Bank of Montreal. As far as I'm concerned, Bank of Montreal was okay. Bank of Montreal is a good company, but Toronto Dominion (TD) is very sharp, and so they sold out. I guess they bought Tasty or sold Tasty, and then they bought Tasty, and they bought Thinkorswim, and now they're selling Thinkorswim out at the top to Charles Schwab, and Charles Schwab is obviously a much bigger firm than what it used to be. It used to be the first discounter, one of the first major discounters. I mean, there were others. I used Marsh Block and things like that before there was a Charles Schwab. Marsh Block was a biggie, but nowhere near as big as that. I don't know if those boys are even alive. Let's see. They lived their office was literally next door to the New York Stock Exchange on Wall. No, not Wall. Broad. Not Broad. What's the other one? Broad and Wall. Let me see. But anyway, I haven't thought about Marsh Block in a long while. Let's see. All right, so from there, let me see. Yeah, maybe it is Broad and Wall. Yeah, I think they were right next to it in that building, next to that old building next to it. What else can we say about any of that? Let me check the chat line again, make sure I got everything. Yeah, 2004. Doc, can you lay out a plan for us to buy out our countries? No. Buy them out? Vote them out. That's what we do. I feel dumb and I want to go into crazy ideas. Essentially, it would take first to buy out the energy firms. Then you move on to the agriculture. I say you just vote them out. Look at the European Parliament. What do you think of the European Parliament? Aren't you impressed with the changes that have come? Now we have to just see the rubber meet the road. In other words, we got to see what they do in voting. But the European Parliament has basically thrown the bozos out of power totally. You got rhinos like we got rhinos, but it's a start. I mean, the idea is peaceful change, intellectual change, not criminal change, the way the ruling junta here in the States has been doing it. Yeah, you would energy companies and agriculture, yeah, food and energy. I mean, that's makes the whole world go round, really, food and energy. Excuse me. So, where do we go from here? I guess we're down to taking a look at the dollar index and seeing what the currencies are up to. It looks good to me. I think. There we are. Let's jump over to it. Let's take a look at the dollar index. And we can jump to any question or philosophy you have, and I'll do that. This way we are fucked. We still got 3 to 5 oligarchs ruling the shit. Yeah, I know what you mean. You're in a bad mood. Well, since you're suggesting a YouTube thing, I can imagine things have changed for the worst for the webinars. Let's go over to the. Let's see, go like that. Euro. Okay, so there is. First of all, let's get the dollar index up on the screen. I know we can do this. right there. There's the dollar index in the buy. It's still in that weekly buy. None of it's making any real sense anymore, and there's no stopping it. You know what I mean? Uh, there was talk still. It's astonishing. You have two groups. It's like looking at linear algebra and topology. Honest to God, mathematically. It's the strangest thing. You've got people out there talking that they didn't raise interest rates far enough, and there still may be a chance for another interest rate increase. This is from the responsible people that I trust. Then you have from the irresponsible people and the junta, the ruling party here in the United States right now under Mr. Biden, are talking about lowering interest rates. So, it's just no problem. It's just weird and wild in every which way. I mean, it's like going to be like the debate tonight. You're going to have one guy talking about issues, and you're going to have three people, two moderators, and the existing president at the moment, rambling about things that have no relevancy whatsoever. I would think yes. I would. I would think that the EU is going to go back more towards capitalism again and away from the socialism. I really do. I believe that's going to happen. Yeah, the debate is tonight at I'm not sure what time exactly, but yeah, probably like 1 a.m. your time. I'm not going to watch it. I'll see it the following day. I can watch the video. This way I can fast forward. I don't even want to hear what Biden has to say. I can't take stupid. Stupid really hurts my brain. Listening to stupid really, I mean, in general, just, foolish ideas and concepts. I mean, he's going to talk about nothing that's relevant to the American public. He's just going to stay on message to their spin machine. And I don't need that. It's just not worth paying attention to. So from there, what else we got going on? Let's go find euro. Let's take a look at the euro. Yeah, it would be interesting. I'd be glad to do something like that. That's no problem. My own channel. Let's see. Let's go over to the euro. So there's the euro right there. You can see it's still in the sell, but they're gaining back everything they gave up yesterday. It's just one big mixed dialogue, because you've got people in this country, that are responsible, trying to tell you that, we need to fix the system and interest rates need to be higher. We got people that are just basically just ridiculous and not making any sense and and just hurting the economics and the population, and want to lower interest rates just for an election. So it just gets uglier and uglier and uglier. So let's see. Let's go over to British pound. There's British pound. You can see British pound, same situation, in a sell for a couple days. Let's just grab the red one there and move it over like that. In a sell, and you can see here it's in the weekly sell, just like the euro, except for the euro's even feeling more pressure. And then from there we go to the inflation fighters, Swiss. And you see that strength, and you see the strength there, right there. And at the same time, we're in a weekly sell. So I mean, it's you know, the Switzerland's doing a fine job, as far as I can tell. Let's see. I like that. Poor Elmo. Poor Elmo. Elmo on fire. Pokemon Elmo. I didn't realize they have a Pokemon Elmo. Wow. Yeah, that was very cute. Well, YouTube, they'd be all freaked out if we put that up on the screen. It was well worth seeing, though. For Swiss, it's a bounce up. I mean, they've lowered interest rates, so obviously it's moving up. It's losing against the dollar. That's when the Swiss goes up, it's losing against the dollar because it is a dollar Swiss pairs trade, not a Swiss dollar pairs trade. So, when it goes up, it's losing against the dollar. But it's not really moving up that aggressively. I mean, it's okay. At the same time, we're still in the weekly sell. So this is just probably more of a bounce than anything else. And once they smooth everything out, and it really comes down to that too. Once they smooth all that out, it'll straighten out there. So, and that's really what it comes down to, is that they need to smooth it out. And that's the interest rates we're talking about, because I mean, Biden just got 16 economists or leftist economists who've won Nobel Prizes. Well, of course, Nobel Prizes in economics. I mean, Art Laffer doesn't have a Nobel Prize in economics because it doesn't go with the left. So I mean, everybody knows supply side economics has grown the economy enormously. He's famous for it. But does he get a Nobel Prize? No. No way. It's only people on the left that get Nobel Prizes when it comes to the economics. So 16 of them said, Trump is going to be inflationary. It's like for 4 years he was president, it wasn't inflationary. So why would he be inflationary now? So I mean, it's like, there's just no real reality. That's what I mean by smoothing it out in the end. From the Swissy, we jump over to the yen, which is through. It's like it's at a night since it's a 14. It's a 38-year high now. That's where it's at. 38. I think I said 40 yesterday, but it's 4-decade high. 38 years to be exact since 86. So it's having those issues. They're just as much in la la land as we are over here with our leftists. Their political. Let's see. Let's see. The Liberal Democratic Party, who's been ruling Japan for so long, is socialist, and so they've been borrowing their hindquarters off, just borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, and it just never stops. Never stops. See anyone's speech talks? What do you mean? In what? European Union? How about Nigel Farage, the way he's gaining in the mainstream over in England? He's going to knock out the Tories, and he's going to be the opposition party, it looks like to me. So people are catching on. They realize that this is all wrong, and it needs to stop. And it doesn't matter how they steal elections anymore. The people have finally gotten fed up. How much are they over any speech? 16 Oh, they're a bunch of bozos. Not one of them has a. It's all these socialists. That make no sense. They're Keynesians, and they want to rate. All they want to do is tax. Everything is. We don't. Here's a simple concept in the United States, in particular, and that is, we don't have a tax problem. In other words, we don't need more taxes. Every year, we gain more money in taxation without changing the taxes. It's a spending problem we have over here. So in other words, if we bring in 17% in cash from taxes, the Congress spends like 24%. If we bring in 18 or 20% in taxes, they spend like 30%. In other words, just spend what you get in. Matter of fact, spend everything but 2% and use the 2% to pay down the debt. And that's what they won't do. We don't have a tax problem in America, and the left, that's all they want to do is tax. And it's not a problem. We don't have a tax problem. We have a spending problem. They don't make much money at all. That's why they're with the left. Let's see. And Nigel did of the EU and then bailed on UK. Not anymore. Looks like he's going to be the opposition party. Supposedly he's out polling the Tories. His Conservative Party is out polling them. Nigel is, who knows? Nigel could be the next prime minister after the Labour prime minister, because the Tory party now is governed on a philosophy of Tony Blair at this point. All right, from the yen, who's at 38-year highs, we're going to go over to the Turkish lira. You can see Turkish lira is fighting to stay in the buy. I guess we can extend that box even more now like that. They've broken through it a few times, but it's trying to stay in that range. You can see it's flirting a little bit with the sell right there, but we're in a weekly buy, and it's going through the manifold right there. So it's not the best of situations when it comes to trying to get that product to go down to the bottom end of the box right here range. We're just happy that the fact that it's starting to stay inside the big box range. So the little box range is okay with me. In fact, we should probably lift that up a little bit more, like so. There we are. That makes it better like that. There we are. So, would love to see this thing stay in that range. Yeah, Turkish people deserve a little more help than that, you know. All right, from there, we go over to the South African Rand, and it's been lifting up for like 4 days, and obviously gold has been, where's the gold at? There's the gold. Gold's been going the other direction. It's pressing down now. All of a sudden, look at that. It's jumped back up today. It's really getting some strength in it, but it hasn't gotten through the buy yet. And it's still in a weekly sell, but it's going down the way the South African Rand. That's not it. The way the South African Rand, right there. The South African Rand has been moving up, as you can see, over the last 4 days, and then the gold has been moving down over the last 5 days, that type of thing. I haven't seen any news more than that Unity Party. So let's see, how much does the average house cost now in the States? That's a good question. I know that home sales came out yesterday, but in some places it's just, way over the top. That's a very good question. Let me see if I can give you average house value in USA. Median home price. Yeah, $500,000. It says $495,100. And that's in 23. So yeah, it's been under Mr. Biden. It's really flipped out. I mean, really, really flipped out. Let's see. it was in the it was in the under Mr. Trump. It kind of actually flattened out under Mr. Trump. That was interesting. So it was around the 325,000 area. Now it's up at the 500,000 area. Wow. It's become. That's why a lot of people are not voting for the guy. Yeah, I hear you. A villa on the seaside. Yeah, I don't. No doubt there. All right, so there is the gold. Gold is trying to lift up. Not in the buy yet. South African rand's been going up and losing against the dollar, and there is silver doing the same thing, going down. Actually, now it's gotten through the manifold. When we sent it out this morning, it had not. Copper, same situation, going down. And then what's curious is the platinum. The platinum has been finding ways to rise. It had a down day, but overall it keeps on trying to perk its head up. And it's been climbing over like the last 8 days, is it? Yeah. The last 8 days it's been climbing. Down a little bit today. The platinum is like the most dangerous short that's out there. I mean, you just don't even want to, anybody that's, you're really playing with pulling the tail of a tiger, honestly. The platinum one day will be back to normal where it trades at same price or at a premium of gold. The reason why we believe that is because when you go to buy it physically, it still is. That's the problem. When you physically buy it. Now, this exchange-traded futures contract, they just do force de jour and stuff like that, and they just trick everybody in the end. Yep, that's pretty much the name of the game there. So, let's see, what else can we say about any of that? I guess that's about it. That's the metals complex. From the metals complex, let's go over to the energy complex. There's oil. Oh, we can get rid of that. They're taking that up again today. And you can see it's in a weekly buy. And over on the beta, it's been the same way. It's been showing strength. And let me just show you the beta. This way we can see North Sea. Same thing. 4 weeks in a buy over on the beta. Now, when we go to Brent right there, you see Brent, same situation, 4 weeks in a buy, and definitely tons and tons of daily buys through the same time period. And today you can see Brent is battling its way to the 86 area as we speak. Now from there we'll march our way to the we can take a look at natural gas, which has been trying to roll over. You see the weekly is trying to press in, and last week it did close in a buy. Now it's trying to go back into the sell again, and at the same time it's been lots of daily sells more than buys. And we go over to the energy company itself in Spain, giving us a better flow. Oh, there we go. Now they're straightening it out again. So now we're dropping. It was trying to head up to the $21 area. Now it's heading back down towards the 20 area. Let's just widen that out for you like so. There it is. That's since the European Parliament. That was the European Parliament. Bang. Knocked it down. You see there it's trading pretty much at the... let's see if we can get this again. You see all the sells. A couple buys in there for a couple of days, but yesterday it went into the sell and off the green dot no less, but it didn't get in there, and now it's getting in there today. So we're seeing that pressure on that. Let me think, what else can we say about any of this? I would say that out of all the energy situations, it's going to come to, it's transitory, just like the interest rates are transitory. Never thought inflation was transitory. But the other two are, interest rates are transitory and energies are transitory. So the next stop will be, where's the next stop? We go from there, I guess we go over to the energy sector. Let's see, not energy, I'm saying the indices. Oh, we heard an interesting story today too. Very interesting story. Let's just take a quick look at Zero Hedge and see what's in the headlines. And then I'll tell you this interesting story I heard today about the Philippines. Huh. Interesting. I'll have to share that. How James Clapper and Mr. Obama rigged the what do you call those things? The debates? Who takes them serious? Rigging the debates doesn't mean much. Let's go to, there it is right there. Biden campaign refuses to commit to drug tests before debate. Never again. Author Biological Weapon Act says COVID-19 shots are weapons of mass destruction. Woo. All right. Serious public safety risk now. New Boeing whistleblowers warns about substandard manufacturing on the 787. They see core durable good orders decline in May. Wonder where stock market is. Let's take a look at the stock market real quick too. It's up. Stock market's up for the day so far. You see it there and on the intraday. There's the intraday. Since we started the webinar right here, the stock market is the S&P 500 has gone from 5,535 up to 5,541. No, 43. I'm sorry, 43. So it's moved up 8 handles. Then they sold it down about 3 or 4 right there, and now they're trying to work their way, it's trying to roll over here. Went into the buy right there, or was it there? Right there. It went into a buy right on that. No, it didn't. It was this one right there. It went into the buy. Interesting. And then went into the sell right. Let's count from the white line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you can't see that. Here's the stock market. Intraday stock market right there. So it went into the buy right there and went into the sell right there. And now it hasn't gotten into a buy yet. It's still in the sell because see, it's not all the, see, it has to be all above the zero line. All above the zero line. So it's pressuring itself there. Continuous, jobless claims rise to highest since 2021. Huh. So you'll do anything to get, I wonder what the bond, let's take a look at the bonds real quick. They'll do anything to try to get the interest rates to move down. You know, it's an election year, they need to move those interest rates down. You can see here, there you go, it shows you. You know, the bond, it fell down over the last couple days. And then you can see it was falling today, and then the news came out. And now look at it. It's moving up a little bit. It'll probably roll over. Still in the weekly buy, though. You know, it's something to be said. It's still in a weekly buy. They believe that the price of the bond will go up, which means the interest rate is dropping. That's what it really means. So I am, you know, no assets, energy, no agriculture, nothing. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, put some good canned goods and, you know, bottled vegetables on the shelf somewhere. Let's see. What else we got to say? Oh, wow. It says here, McDonald's admits customers reject fake meat burgers. McPhail. 11 signs that the U.S. economy is in far worse shape than most people think. Party almost over. Hedge fund dumping record amounts of tech stocks to retail investors. Here's a good one for everybody in Europe. Make Europe great again. Increasingly seems that the risks are not so much coming from the center of European power, but in football terms, from the flanks represented by the national national satellites as represented by council. Cool. So, all right, let's take a look at some of the stock indices. On the out trade area at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Rob and I both traded on the Chicago Mercantile at the CME in Chicago. Let's see. Yeah. Well, they're the ones fighting to get capitalism back into the society, so that's good. I mean, no matter how they do it, and the end result is it needs to be done. Huh. Interesting. All right, now from there, let's go over to, let's see where we at. Let's go over to the beta again, and let's take a look at, let's put it up on the screen because we've got a few minutes here. I just want to see a few of the stock indices. And the story I heard about the Philippines was there's really serious thinking that, let me just throw the Philippine index in. That's why it makes sense to me. You know how I say all the time, you know, the Philippines is being sold off, right? And then we go to Taiwan, and for the country that's being attacked by China, Taiwan is rallying. And so they're saying that you're seeing all this pressure. See how the Taiwan keeps on climbing. So the story I heard today was that they think that China would attack the Philippines, which none of it makes any sense. But you know that the pressure is on the Philippines. That's why the Chinese Coast Guard keep on pestering them. And so they know that if they attack Taiwan, that Taiwan will probably bomb Beijing, and they probably can. And so, but the Philippines, which I think has the same capacity for some reason, and now it kind of makes some sense when I see the Philippine stock index. Let's put it back up there again. But the Philippine stock index keeps on representing like it's trying to fall. Now, the last couple of days it is perking up, maybe because they're starting to recognize that, but it's been in a weekly sell out of that whole thing. Now let's look at the Shanghai, China itself, and I guess it's still down from, so it lifted up yesterday, and now it's selling down again today. But overall, you can see it's gone from the 3100 area, 3165 basically, down to 2925. Maybe 30, something like that. So I mean, we're really looking at a very confused universe of people trying to figure out if they're coming or they're going. I mean, really, they seem to be lost out of the whole thing, just totally lost. It doesn't make any sense anymore. I mean, it really doesn't. So, all right, where are we at here? I guess we're done for the day. I got to come up with a title. And today's title will be, what should the title be today? I would say, I'm really glad we did binaries yesterday, because I always miss the idea that we're not really talking about the options and the right tools. Today's title should be, let's see, what did we talk about? We talked about the tech stocks. How about tech stocks lead indexes? I think that's the best way to, there we are. And I'd have to say that Forex is really just going sideways because they can't decide, not the Forex. No one can decide if they're going to be raising rates or lowering rates or doing no rates. I don't know. It's like it doesn't stop. All right, traders, we're out of here. This is Doc from North America saying happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you until we meet again. And that'll be tomorrow, Friday. Happy trails to you, to all my Dukascopy friends. Later, Dukascopy. We will catch you on the flip side tomorrow.